The Today Show host Jenna Bush Hager rags on her husband, Henry Hager, while on air. However, as the words are leaving her mouth, she immediately regrets saying it out loud. Jenna Bush Hager and Heather McMahon know they are yappers. During the February 24th episode of the Today Show's Jenna and Friends segment, Jenna Bush Hager, 43, admitted she is a yapper. As she and her visiting co-host comedian Heather McMahon, 37, were free-flowing their conversation, Jenna let a little too much about her husband, Henry Hager, 46. When comedian Rosebud Baker joined Jenna Bush Hager and Heather McMahon on the stage, the ladies got very candid. Playing off of each other's openness, Rosebud and Heather were discussing complaints during pregnancy, labor, and raising children. Undoubtedly, Jenna had a few complaints pent up from her 3 childbirth experiences. Heather points out that husbands can make childbearing all about them. Rosebud jokes about her husband's extreme confidence when entering the labor and delivery room. For him, the experience wasn't that bad. Rosebud says, he was so confident walking into the room with the throne and the flat-screen TV. Then, she recalls thinking, I know how painful it is for you to be in the room alone with a flat-screen TV. I'm getting surgery next door, and he's just having a good time. This triggers a memory for Jenna Bush Hager. Without thinking too much after Rosebud Baker's story, it sparked a memory for Jenna Bush Hager about her experience ahead of labor. She shares it was infuriating that Henry picked a very inconvenient time to get his colon inspected. Jenna says her husband made his arrangements before her labor. My husband got a colonoscopy like 2 days before. As it slipped out of her mouth, she immediately regretted ragging on her husband. She begs, please don't put this on the internet. However, since the cat was already out of the bag, she told the rest of the story. She says, and I was like, why are you scheduling this appointment for right now? I could be going into labor, but here I am picking you up from the clinic. But they all cackle as Rosebud comments, yes, because he's like, I want my time to shine. That's what it is. Unfortunately, Jenna Bush Hager didn't learn her lesson when Hoda Kotb told her to curb her opinion of her husband on air. Before Hoda's exit, Justine Lupe was talking to Jenna and asked if Henry ever gave her the ick. But Hoda quickly and politely told Jenna to zip it. Hoda interjected, oh, God, don't. She knew there were consequences for spilling on marital scuffles. She explained, Justine, what happens is it gets in page 6, and then she gets in trouble. At that point, Hoda was protecting her from herself, but now she isn't there to save her. Seemingly, Jenna will never learn. She is an open book, and Henry will just have to accept it. Jenna Bush Hager had always been an open book. It was one of the qualities that made her such a beloved television personality, her ability to share her life with humor, honesty, and a touch of self-deprecation. But sometimes, just sometimes, that openness got her into a little bit of trouble. Saturday morning's episode of the Today Show's Jenna and Friends was supposed to be lighthearted and fun. Jenna was joined by comedian Heather McMahon, and together, they created a natural comedic flow, bouncing off one another's jokes with ease. The conversation had started innocently enough, chatting about the joys and perils of parenting, laughing at the absurdities of motherhood. But then, the conversation veered into dangerous territory. Husbands. Heather, ever the comedic firecracker, opened the floodgates. You know what drives me crazy? How husbands make everything about them. Even childbirth. It's like, sir, you're not the one pushing a human out of your body. The audience chuckled, and Jenna nodded vigorously in agreement. already recalling a memory that fit the theme all too well. Rosebud Baker, another guest, chimed in. "Oh my God, my husband was so confident walking into the labor and delivery room, like it was his Super Bowl. He's over there with a throne and a flat-screen TV, while I'm in surgery. He's having a good time, I'm in hell." Jenna, caught up in the moment, burst out laughing. "Oh my gosh, yes. That reminds me of when Henry scheduled his colonoscopy 2 days before I was due to give birth. I was like, really? This is the time you choose? I could go into labor any minute, and now I have to pick you up from the clinic?" As the words left her mouth, she felt a jolt of panic. Her hands flew up in mock horror as she added quickly, "Oh no, please don't put this on the internet." But it was too late. Heather and Rosebud were already howling with laughter, and the studio audience erupted into a mix of gasps and giggles. The damage was done. The clip would be on social media before the show even wrapped, and Henry's sweet, patient Henry would see it. It wasn't the first time Jenna had overshared about her husband on air. It probably wouldn't be the last. Hoda Kotb had warned her once before. "Oh God, don't. She had interjected during a previous segment when Jenna was about to reveal another less than flattering tidbit about Henry. Hoda had even explained why. "Justine, what happens is it gets in page 6, and then she gets in trouble." But Jenna never learned. She was an oversharer, a storyteller, a natural-born yapper, as she had admitted earlier in the show. It wasn't malicious. She adored Henry, but sometimes the filter between her brain and her mouth simply malfunctioned. As the laughter died down, Jenna groaned. "Henry is going to kill me." The truth was, Henry Hager was used to this. After more than a decade of marriage to Jenna, he had learned to roll with the punches. Whenever she accidentally shared a private or embarrassing detail about him on air, he would simply shake his head and chuckle. But this? A colonoscopy story? This was next level. By the time Jenna got home that evening, the clip had already gone viral. The internet was ablaze with reactions. At Moms Who Laugh, "Jenna Bush Hager is all of us. Husbands always have the worst timing." At page 6, Jenna Bush Hager spills the tea on Henry Hager's poorly timed colonoscopy. Should spouses get a say in when they schedule procedures before a baby is due? At Dads United, "Justice for Henry. Let the man check his colon in peace." Hashtag Team Henry.